Tonight on Debate Amongst Friends. Continuous coverage on NFL wins and losses. NBA MVP race is on and popping. Esports news, including Capcom Cup 2016 and a star becoming a free agent. And ending with WWE tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my. Starting now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, to Debates Among Friends, live on Mixlr every single Wednesday night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can like us at our Twitter at Debates Among Friends, our YouTube at Debates Among Friends, and our Facebook at Debates Among Friends. I am Professor John Gotti, and always by my side is Mr. Wednesday Night himself, the Doctor. How you doing tonight?
Wednesday night. I'm ready, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. We got ourselves a stacked show. Let's stop with the get-go and jump straight into it. The NFL has concluded, and the playoff race is getting tighter in some ends, a little bit more loose on the other ends.
I can agree. I mean, we had some pretty good football, but of course, we started out, which always is a unfortunate beginning and end, but the Dallas Cowboys beating the Minnesota Vikings to start off the football week.
Are we surprised about that, though? I mean, let's just be honest.
I wasn't surprised. I guess I was surprised that they only won 17-15. It was almost like the Vikings found a formula to beat the Cowboys, but just realized that they had Sam Bradford at the helm.
Hilarious.
But shout out to them being resilient and coming away with the win. I think that
is it resilience though, or is it just them doing what they did the entire year? Because we talked about this off the podcast. Like, have they really had a dominant win yet?
They might have had one or two dominant wins. I can't say more than that.
I can think of is the Green Bay game, but I mean, that's about it.
I mean, I guess when you look at it, I think they've been winning, and of course, a Cowboy fan will always say a win is a win. Okay. And I think at the end of the day, all of us as fans say the same thing. And of course, they did dominate the Browns. I wanted to make sure because I wanted to point that out. They did dominate the Browns, but the Browns are who we think they are, and who we thought they are, and who they will continue to be.
I mean, the Browns is absolutely the best team in the NFL, so I mean, that's such a big accomplishment.
I think somebody mentioned today that they simulated a game, the Browns versus the Alabama team. Somehow, I don't know how they did this, but they simulated a game, and I believe the Browns couldn't even compete against that Alabama Crimson Tide. So, which is a testament to the college program, of course, but of course a slap in the face to a professional NFL team.
Yeah, but we made that same kind of joking comparison, like Kentucky versus like the 76ers.
We did,
Not
which
even 2 years ago.
Which of course was a slap to the face of the NBA. Because the Kentucky team was pretty good at that time.
I mean, good is an understatement, though. I mean, they was pretty dominant, right?
They were pretty dominant, but I mean, when you're looking at the 76ers, though, I mean, come on. Their ownership is really, really terrible. And I know you're going to hit me with an I'm sorry soon. And I hate to get an I'm sorry. It's early in the show, but I mean, the 76ers, again, like the Browns, are who we thought they were.
Absolutely. I don't think I need to. I'm sorry, it was right there, Doctor.
Gonna get one. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna hit me with a I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So just to go over some of the other games, of course, other notable games, including the Seahawks beating the Panthers, were shellacking.
It wasn't even shellacking. Like, obviously, Cam Newton was affected by whatever happened before the game. And not only did it affect him, it affected the entire Carolina Panthers team because they didn't get off the bus at all. They didn't even try to compete. What they did was laughable for a team who just competed for an NFL championship last year or earlier on this year, however you want to dice it up. Technicalities, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But to come out and have that kind of performance,
yeah,
poopy.
And I can agree with that. And I mean, of course, as you coined the phrase, and I guess the media coined the phrase, Tiegate.
I don't think it's media. I think this is a Professor John Gotti exclusive term.
I mean, it's funny because I literally was just talking about his attire to some of my coworkers, and I said he's really, really questionable out there with some of the attire. But I mean, as somebody else mentions, if you get paid millions of dollars to wear this ugly clothing,
yeah,
I mean, it's really what it comes down to.
Walmart and grab you some tie
just to put it on, but you can't do that, of course.
But I'm sitting there and I'm just like, but I mean, has he worn a tie and post game press conferences and stuff? I don't think so.
He usually wears something crazy. Like, I've seen him with a couple of bow ties. It's really crazy. You would have to go through the pictures. It's really his.
We might need the facts out there. We need people to tell us whether or not Cam Newton's been wearing ties for every single game.
I don't know about every game because it depends. Because, like I said, whoever his stylist is, it's like he's. I mean,
I'm sorry.
So
I understand people being fashionadas and stuff like that. More power to you. I get it.
So can I just interject here? Looking at, if you Google Cam Newton post-game clothes images, the first 8 to 10 pictures have him in a bow tie, as well as what looks like leggings there. But we're gonna digress. The first 8 pictures, he's in a tie, and 5 out of 8. A bow tie, as I mentioned. Usually he does rock the bow tie. Occasionally he has a regular tie on, but whoever's out there dressing him is going crazy. But I don't want to spend the whole show.
1, 2, 3, 4,
and then 5.
And J5.
Oh my God, not J5. But I don't want to get too caught up on Cam Newton's clothes. I think he would get.
I guess the point that we're trying to find out is, fair or foul, Ron Rivera sitting him for the first series of the game, because that first series, as they said after the game, set the tone for the rest of the game.
I think it's foul. I think a simple fine, maybe, if he was trying to really, again, and we talked about that before, a simple fine would have been just fine, because remember, you're trying to actually win a game, and this is just about not wearing a tie on the team bus.
Yep.
I mean, I guess the post conference is different because they don't really mandate the clothes, but I mean, when you look at it, even in high school and college, if your coach says, hey, I want you to have a shirt and tie, you have to have a shirt and tie, and that's just the bottom line.
I mean, I do that, especially when we play sports. Like, we become in full-fledged suits, not something that came out of a Picasso painting.
Exactly.
But I think that's just the change in tide. Change in tide of the way fashion is looked at and portrayed.
But also, you got to keep in mind that Cam, he might have just wanted to set the tone to make sure Cam knew that he wasn't above the rules.
We all know that quarterbacks are definitely, especially if they're superstar quarterbacks.
I mean,
the main argument that people were making was he's the reigning MVP.
Hey, but he has to wear. He has to retire.
Like I applaud the fact that Ron Rivera stuck with his laurels and did what he did.
He has to wear a tie on the bus.
The thing that I don't agree with, and maybe this is the unpopular opinion, the thing that I don't agree with is to put him out for one series. If it was me, I would probably put him out for one quarter. At least that way Derek Anderson gets a chance to try to, reestablish himself or something, and then Cam could come in. Like,
I think
it was basically a gimme.
I get it. I mean, but I guess that he must have known that this was the actual offense, is just sitting out the first drive, which, for all we know, Cam could have been just like not wanting to play the first drive anyway. To be honest with you, because sometimes it's like that in a game. You just don't want to play.
I think we're definitely reaching right there.
I'm serious. Sometimes people are not ready for these first drives. That's why they come out and they just throw like 3 incomplete passes right off the bat.
Well,
He's
that's why I always like being the sixth man.
He was just like, you know what?
Analyze what the other team is doing. I come in and I'm ready.
He probably was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm not even going to play the first quarter anyway. I'll just do me. But I don't.
I think would be better. I think if they would have started the second quarter with Cam Newton starting, or at least midway through the first, it would have been a lot better. He had to come on the field after a pick six that he didn't throw.
This is true.
And try to reestablish the pace of the offense after that.
But at this point, I mean, I don't know if this is one of those situations where, hey, we're 4-8. Now we're just embarrassing ourselves out there. But not only are we 4-8, but now you're trying to break the rules. Oh, we can't have this. We got to tighten up the ship. You got to wear a tie. You didn't wear a tie. Next time it'll probably be a half, if not the entire game.
Speaking of games and post-game / pre-game stuff, what's your thoughts on the Le'Veon Bell comments in regards to the Giants' defense trying to hurt him?
Well, this is football.
This is football. I feel a Ray Lewis moment about to come in.
I mean, I'm just saying, this is football. I mean, I think, hey, guys are going to try to hit you. Now, I don't know if he feels they might take a cheap shot at his legs or whatever the case may be. But it's like, hey, this is a tough
one. That's a cheap shot to the legs, and you can't even go above. Most of the time, can't go above the waist.
Well, at a running back, you can. Only people you can't go above the waist, of course, if a receiver is coming across the middle or whatever. I don't know those intricate rules anymore because they've changed the game so much that it's actually pretty ridiculous. But he's just saying that they were pretty dirty out there. Apparently, twisting his head. Sometimes, actually, I'll give you an example. My coach used to always say, when you go, you hit, wrap, and tackle. You don't roll with the ankle, or you don't, and some people don't practice technique. It's like tackle at all costs. And at times, it does seem like, hey, that's a dirty move. You could cost me my career. I'm not really feeling you. And I guess that might have just been it.
I mean, do you feel like that there are certain teams that would do that to try to gain the competitive advantage?
I don't think it's certain teams, but I think it's probably certain players. Because I know Tampa Bay is not a dirty team, because we really, until the last couple of weeks, we really haven't had any grit. So,
what's his name was the coach?
I mean, John Gruden, Tony Dungy. Who do you think we had grit of?
The guy from Rutgers.
We didn't have no grit under Tony. I mean, yeah, we didn't. Schiano, Greg, yes. I'm sorry. We didn't have any grit under Schiano. We just had somebody who was working them to death. And they were tired every game. He was
like, and do this, and do this. Go
right,
to the library. Get the book, get the book, get the book. Like, what?
I mean, we haven't really been too tough, but teams are tougher now. I can see maybe the Seahawks players, because they get really, really rowdy, but they play with great technique. I don't think it's dirty, but if you just so happen to get hurt.
Talk about the other big news that happened during that Carolina game.
With the injury.
Big injury to Pro Bowl safety Earl Thomas.
Who, there was reports already on the sideline he was thinking about retiring, and I was just like, wow.
I think that was just at the moment kind of thing, which is kind of why the league don't want you to go on social media during the game. So I definitely agree and understand that.
Yeah, I could understand that too. It was really crazy. But just a quick, NFL standings haven't really changed. Lions are actually running away with the NFC North. Falcons and Bucks. Yeah, Falcons and Bucks are tied for NFC South. Seahawks are kind of in the lead in the NFC West. Obviously, Cowboys. Yeah. We know the Cowboys. Patriots have run away. Raiders, I think, are in a comfortable
position. And I still keep saying, dang, Raiders, you scary. Because they are scary.
They are pretty scary. And then lastly, the Baltimore Ravens are still ahead of the Steelers. And the AFC South
is pretty trash, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. The AFC South, although I really don't believe in any of those teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I think either team that wins between the Texans, Colts, and Titans, I don't think they're going anywhere past any of those other teams. So
So even
you
though
can
you
just
win, you still lose.
exactly. But moving on to some NBA news. Obviously, we had some pretty good games over the weekend. We had some pretty good performances, including John Wall finally showing up and playing some basketball, the basketball of his life, apparently, according to some.
Ball is life.
But then we had some trash NBA news, including Matt Barnes. Oh my goodness. Can I just say I'm so tired of hearing about Matt Barnes? Like, I've never heard a mediocre player so much. This much.
I got nothing. I mean, there's nothing you can say or do about this guy anymore. Like, he has a bad reputation, so... And we don't know what's happening, so it's hard for us to say he did or didn't do this. Period. We're not going to sit here. We're not going to propaganda you out there, folks. That's not what we do here at Debates Among Friends. Brought to you tonight by Stella Artois. We're not going to sit here and propaganda you, even though I just kind of did that with the little plug-in, but it's not the point. We're not going to try to force you to think one way. We want you to think what you believe, which is why we don't have an opinion on whether or not Mr. Barnes did or did not do what has been reported.
And it's one of those situations where we shouldn't have to. And I think we had this conversation earlier, again, at my place of employment, because we do talk sports. It's 24-hour sports between the doctor and professor, of course. And the one thing that we pointed out was that, when you're making this money, it's like, yo, why don't you just play the game and then give us about 10, 15 years of you playing. I mean, you can live, but I mean, can you tone it down just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Because you're no longer a normal person.
Well, see, here's the other thing I was gonna say. It's not the 90s anymore.
It's not.
You can't be Dennis Rodman. You cannot. Dennis Rodman.
You cannot.
And
at
that's
all.
both a compliment and an insult.
Yes, because you just can't. You just can't.
You can't do what could happen anymore. It's a SAWFT league right now.
It is, and I mean, you just can't. Social media is out there. People are out there egging on because they know, hey, this is a quick payday for me.
Yeah. I mean, look what happened to, what's his name from the Warriors? Draymond Green during that summer.
Absolutely. But just a quick scoring update. So right now, Celtics are trailing the Magic 40-36, second quarter, 4:53 remaining. Pistons beating the Hornets by 1, second quarter, 2:52 remaining. The Nuggets are actually trailing the Nets, battle of terrible, quarter 1, 3:55, and then the Heat are losing currently to the Hawks, quarter 1, 2:56. And later on in some action, actually should be starting relatively soon if it hasn't started already. We have the Knicks versus the Cavaliers, which has started. Cavaliers are up 34-21, quarter number 1, 1:19 remaining. The Trailblazers and the Bucks are tied at the end of the first quarter. And of course, my Houston Rockets are dominating as usual, 37-25, playing some really, really good basketball. Speaking of the Houston Rockets and the New Jersey Nets, free agent news. Donatas Montelionis really wants Demo really wants. I think he just wants somebody to show him the money.
Show me the money.
The Quan.
Oh gosh.
Show
Facebook friends do not support that term at all.
Show the money.
Yes.
We're holding out over $6 million right now.
Yes.
Now, to me, it's like, man, $6 million. I can understand why he would hold out for that. But I mean, this is talking about somebody who's about to get $31 million. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, I mean, you got the long-term deal. I understand the principle, and it's one of the situations where, hey, $37 million, that's a lot of money.
It is.
For somebody who's not a starter.
Nope.
Now, if he went to Brooklyn, he probably would be a starter because, I think they have They have, oh man, I can't think of that guy's name right now. They have that guy that used to play in the Sixers, a really small power forward. He's actually no, he's not even there anymore. I don't know who they have at power forward anymore. Actually, now the Nets have gone down really in everything that they were trying to do, and I think Demo would be a great fit on the Brooklyn Nets. Um, but at this particular time, it's one of those situations where, hey, I knew if the Rockets made it, if anyone made an offer to Demo, the Rockets were going to match. I questioned it at first, but then I said, well, why wouldn't we? We know he's a good player. He would be the only 7-foot player on the team.
Yeah.
And it's like he can shoot the three, which is what D'Antoni likes. He can pass, which is also what D'Antoni likes. And if we do have to slow it down, which we never do, he can actually post up as well. So, I mean, why wouldn't we?
I don't
So
know.
right,
I mean, he is, like I said off the podcast, actually. I mean, he wants that Harrison Barnes money.
oh, I see what you're going here. I mean, he doesn't. Now, this is what I'll
Because the
say.
cap room is large enough,
It is larger now. This is what I'll say.
and it's steadily increasing.
Let me tell you what I think is going to happen here. And I've thought about this in my mind probably for the last day and a half.
All right? The people want to know if they're screwing my earlobes.
You want to know it. Here we go. Honestly, I think had Mark Cuban not risked so much money on Chandler Parsons, he probably would be chasing Demo right now because he's going to need an heir apparent to Dirk Nowitzki. Not saying that Demo will ever be Dirk, but right now, Dirk.
Don't say that.
Yeah, but we don't know that actually. We don't know because Dirk wasn't even Dirk when he first came into the league. Dirk was like Demo.
Dirk had to develop to become Dirk.
Dirk was like Demo. Demo, pretty young guy, 25, 26 years old. I mean, he's still got some time to grow. I mean, he's, again, 7 foot, 223, can shoot the three, can post. I see the Mavericks going after him. And I think if you pair Harrison Barnes with Demo, you might have something. If they have the cap.
I mean, he's been balling, but there's one other person that we forgot to talk about who had a career night. Well, not a career night, but he had a pretty big night.
But I'm gonna get
And
to
it's
him.
the, to use the doctor's favorite term, the Luigi
Uh-oh.
of the Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson dropping 60.
In which I heard people mumbling saying, hey, you should have left the man, then let him score more, but I don't think they're about that.
They're not about that. I think this year they're not about that. Last year, absolutely.
Yes. I also think Clay's been struggling so much, he was like, you know what? I'm not going to stop shooting this ball at all. I'm going to shoot this ball until I miss.
He scored 60 points in 29 minutes of play. I think that's sufficient enough.
It is. I agree. I think
Just
it
saying,
is.
I think that's sufficient enough. You don't need to sit there and keep on going because then something can happen. You know, like you don't want to do that. It was the right move by Steve Kerr and the Warriors front office to have him sit there out of the rest of the game. Totally.
I agree. I think it's one of those situations where you have to definitely look at it and say, hey, what's in the best interest of my team in the long run? Because you still have Durant, because they got a long season to go, and I think they're going to miss some of those bench players more than anything.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, once you get to those grinding games, I mean, there's a lot of people who left that gave them a lot of energy, who helped them get out of certain holes, or maybe if they even had the lead, you know, they could just try to extend that lead and get the crowd going so when the starters get back into it, like, it's going to be lights out afterwards.
And I mean, really, they lost a lot of their key contributors, such as Sir Harrison Barnes, Festus Ezeli, even though these guys didn't show up in the finals.
I said it immediately after the finals. You can't sit there and have open three-point shots the whole time. You don't want to be that guy playing at 8 court that people don't want to defend because you can't shoot and your jump shot is garbage.
Nobody's
Not that
gonna run
I
out
think your jump shot is garbage, but
it's like nobody's gonna run out here. No one. Okay, I'm gonna take this. Asia.
oh no! Oh my god! Oh my god! Justin Long! That's a good segue from that one and go into esports, actually.
Esports, okay, we can definitely jump
Now
into
we're
some
going to talk a little
esports.
bit about some Street Fighter news that happened this past weekend. The Capcom Cup, which is the combination end of the year tournament from all the other different tournaments that are going on during the year, including Evolution 2016, which myself and the Doctor was at this year.
And we'll be going to 2017. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Big shout outs to Team Liquid, Knuckle Dew, for winning it all, ranking in at first place. We actually had two Americans who topped the rankings, well, topped the result sets for Capcom Cup 2016. Himself and Ricky Ortiz. Yes, Ricky Ortiz is a female, ladies and gentlemen. Her and her Chung Li had a heck of a tournament. If you ever had a chance to watch it, if you didn't watch it on Sunday, as we kept trying to reiterate, you could definitely catch it on YouTube. It was a great grand finals match. They even had a great winners finals match as well too, and it just brought great joy to the audience and Mike Ross, who is the MC of the event, to know that we were going to have an American or two Americans in the top three, and it just happened we had two Americans in the top two.
USA.
So now we're gonna call our great country. Well, it was gonna call that, but now Street Fighter V is now going through, as the doctor like to say, a bit of poison being injected, because this is now the Do World Order.
Do World Order.
But major highlights: top 8, all Japanese players, minus the 2 that we mentioned before. A lot of people who were favorites went down early, including the doctor's favorite player.
Who was it gonna be?
Infiltration going.
Oh my god, my brother Infiltration. Well, again, I said this on Evo when he won. I really, and I don't know, maybe Nash is this guy. I personally do not like that character.
He was pretty vocal about that too. He was like,
yes, it's something about that character.
Like, I don't like him. Like, what is it? Like, it's the moveset? No, like,
it's just it could be the arm.
No, like, I don't like the way that his fighting poses. I'm like, that's really it.
That's really it, and I think it really could limit some of the moves that you could do. But of course, I'm not a Street Fighter guru. So maybe Nash is one of the most electrifying players, but when you look at it, I mean, I see one Nash, and then Infiltration is the second Nash. So
hilarious.
I mean, no one else plays with Nash. You know what I mean? It's just 1, 2.
I mean, looking at it from a faraway perspective, there were so many Chung-Li players.
Yeah, I see that
in this event. It was Chung-Li, which was the top one. The second one is one of my favorite characters, Ken. So there wasn't a whole lot of variety.
One of
we only
my
had one person actually playing Alex outright. Unfortunately, he went down pretty fast.
To be honest with you, though, the one character that I'm really interested in, if I was to play Street Fighter, would probably be Nicole.
Yeah, everyone likes Nicole.
I love Nicole.
Hard-hitting character. A lot of his moves can definitely go unpunished, minus a few. I mean, his Lynx is pretty good, and his super critical art, critical art, let me get that right so people don't get upset with me. His critical art, along with V-Trigger, does a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
Now, let me ask you, Professor, was there anyone outside of Infiltration, of course, that really disappointed you within just this top, I guess, 32 players?
I mean, there's a couple of favorites. There's a lot of them.
But I mean, anyone in particular, you're just like, I cannot believe that he's there.
What, that he was there or that he lost?
That he's at the rank that he is right now.
Honestly, I mean, no one really, because they won major tournaments, so they got there based off points, really. I mean, the people who should have been there were there, minus the people who actually had to drop down because they couldn't make the travel arrangements to get there.
Well, I'm talking about this is basically what happened at Capcom.
Yes.
So based on what happened at Capcom, is there somebody here or any combination of people? It could be anybody. Justin Wong. I mean,
I'm definitely disappointed that Justin Wong, was O2 as well. A lot of people left O2.
Now, I know you actually watched this because I mean he did place 13th at Evo. I mean, just fell right out of the top 8 to top 10. I mean, he lost pretty late, which is pretty impressive. Still, 13 is great. Um, but dropping down to 25. Now you got a chance to watch the event. I mean, what was his demeanor?
I mean, a lot of the players there, to be honest with you, just didn't look fully invested into it. Like,
Oh.
it's like, it's. I'll put it into a sports perspective for you, since this is debates among friends. We talk about sports, and esports is part of sports. Think about it like March Madness, which is coming up.
I can't wait.
Think about whenever you see a team get stunned in the big dance.
Okay.
And the reason why they got stunned is because they didn't take their opponents seriously. That's the full perspective right there. They didn't take their opponents seriously. They wasn't fully invested. Many of them was on Twitter just talking about, I should have prepared more. My head wasn't in the game and things like that. Like, I feel like it was more mental than actual execution that really hurt them. One of the biggest surprises, which I was really happy about, and I said it was the match of the day for the first day, was one of our boys, Evil Genius's own K. Brad, defeating the Beast, Daigo Umenhara.
I know you're a big Daigo fan too.
I am a big Daigo's fan, but I'm also a big K. Brad fan too. I know that he puts in a lot of work with his Cammy.
Absolutely.
Definitely put a lot of hours into the tech with her, understanding, being able to find ways to reduce as much iframes as possible to get the maximum effort out of her. So to see him beating Daigo in a grand stage like this, music's in my ears. But the workhorse of the tournament has to go to Ricky Ortiz. She came out there, she played her heart out there, she got the hearts of everyone there, plus the people watching on Twitch and ESPN too, because there was people who didn't watch it. Because the viewer rate for Capcom Cup was lower than Evo. But I think it's because Evo is a much more household name, and certain people were there, and blah blah blah. We're talking more. We're talking like TLC versus WrestleMania kind of thing.
Gotcha. And again, I mean, I look forward to seeing some of these people at Evo, this particular year, and seeing, hey, maybe we'll see a new champ crown, or maybe people will get their act together. And
oh, absolutely. Plus, we have a season 2 coming out soon too, and the reveal of Akuma, who looks completely sick, by the way, with that lion's mane. I mean, he looks like a fun character to play. He has a lot of versatile offense with him. And including with the newest season that's going to start coming out as well too, a lot of patches is going to happen to a lot of characters. Some characters are going to get some buffs. A lot of them is going to get nerfs. People are happy. People are unhappy with it. They just have to learn to adapt with it, really. So it's always ever changing, my friends.
Now let me ask you, because I did read this earlier to make sure I'm understanding, because I read this here. Akuma is actually Ryu from the future. Is that accurate, or is this thing going? Okay, because they were saying Akuma is from the future, from an alternative timeline. So this is like completely false, and this is basically from the IGN.com. So I didn't know, because that's one of the major gaming websites that I'm familiar with.
Yeah,
but you're saying completely untrue.
That is completely untrue. In fact,
Gotcha.
Akuma is the brother of the teacher who taught Ryu and Ken how to fight.
Gotcha. Makes more sense. Just wanted to clear that up because I read that earlier. Wanted to make sure that wasn't true. Sounds more realistic and a more interesting story. And
oh, absolutely. I mean, the story by itself is great. If you ever had a chance to, definitely look it up. Like, it is a great read, or if you want to watch the animated movies, it's a great watch as well too. I mean, the Street Fighter story. A lot of these video game stories are very, very intricate and detailed.
Gotcha.
You become fully invested within it, and then you'll find the character that you really enjoy.
Gotcha. And speaking of interested, as well as a character that we really, really enjoy, we have to touch on Sonic Fox leaving his team, Critical Reaction, and becoming a free agent. What are your initial thoughts on that?
I I mean, Sonic Fox is ranked #1 in the world for Mortal Kombat X or XL, however you
Hmm.
want to talk about it.
Hmm.
I mean, he's a beast in the game. You know, he's only
18
18
years
years
old.
old, and he just raking in the money. Winning all these tournaments, just making you feel salty about life. More power to him. He's definitely gonna go and sign up with another team that, is gonna just help elevate his status even further. I'm pretty sure he didn't leave his previous team, CR, Critical Reaction, on bad terms, but
Sure,
at the
sure.
same time, in the Mortal Kombat world, this would be equivalent to. I don't want to say it like this because people might think it's
Uh-oh.
out of hand,
Oh, God.
but it could be similar to the decision.
Oh, man, not the decision.
The decision.
Oh, God, Sonic Fox. Why would you do this to us? Now we got
I
the
mean,
LeBron and
either
Maniacs
that, or
going
I mean,
crazy.
it could also be similar to the Monday Night Wars.
Oh, okay, that's a little better. I could deal with that. I could deal with that. But I mean, we'll see what happens with Sonic Fox. We'll keep the people up to date, and we'll just go ahead and move on because I know you mentioned tables, and we had a few ladders, and we had some chairs. Oh
Oh
my!
no!
We usually start off with a rating. Now, I didn't give you my rating. I watched it. I skipped some of it. I watched more of it. I skipped some of it. Based on everything that I
Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
saw.
we're talking about WWE TLC that was this past Sunday.
Right, tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my! Out of everything, I would give it a hard 7.
I can accept that. I'm going to give it a hard 6.
Okay. The only
A
reason I
lot
would
of
give it
pieces
a
of it hurt it more, and it docked more points with me.
example.
James Ellsworth.
The ending was pretty terrible. I think that's why I can't give it more than a 7. I think the only thing that keeps it in that 7, almost 7.5 range is number 1, Bray Wyatt finally won a title.
Yes.
Number 2, we
That,
saw
that's
a
why
great
that's why I still got a 6, because I wasn't gonna let the joy of me seeing him finally having gold,
right
tamper
bring
with
this.
my ranking.
I did enjoy most of the Miz versus Dolph Ziggler.
I'm excited for that for you. Let's just stop it.
Yes, I am ready for them to stop it. But I was really blown away by Baron Corbin and Kalisto.
That was the shocker of the night. It was the match of the night.
And I mean, second to that, I would have to give it to the women's match, Alexa Bliss versus, Becky Lynch. I thought it was really, really good, and the power bomb through the table, the ring presence was really, really good.
Yes. The
And
story
I
they
really
told was
enjoyed that
great.
part.
It definitely
Yes.
left a lot for this feud to keep on going strong,
Hmm.
which is what you want for a title holder and their main rival. You want it to keep on going strong instead of it becoming saturated.
And I agree. I just thought they did tell a wonderful story.
But
And
speaking of
unfortunately,
saturation, your boys, the New Day,
the New Day.
is
Which, wait a minute, we didn't get to AJ Styles now. Mister, they don't want none himself.
your favorite wrestler. Absolutely, let's talk about it.
I mean, my favorite wrestler probably doesn't wrestle anymore, but AJ Styles
Wait,
won
Jay
another.
Ricky doesn't wrestle anymore?
I mean, I don't know if he's my favorite. I don't know because they really playing him out over there in Ring of Honor now. He's not really as much, so, but he's definitely one of the top. That was kind of his own personal choice, which I understand. But I thought the match was going okay. I did like the one thing that AJ always does, where he jumps and flips off the rope, onto the table. Yeah,
That was a great spot.
that was a pretty good spot. Other than that, I really didn't feel as though it was one of those situations where, hey, the match was great. Forbes gave it a 10. I don't know why they gave that particular match a 10.
Someone
When they
slipped a couple of hundred. That's why.
obviously because they gave Baron Corbin versus Kalisto a 9.
I'm okay with that match getting a 9
Yeah,
because it really made Baron Corbin look like a potential person to go after the title soon. So I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, and obviously we can go ahead because the Miz versus Dolph Ziggler was pretty good. Um, but speaking, you were going into the New Day. What do you feel about the New Day?
I think this is similar, actually, not even similar. This is exactly like what happened with Nikki Bella.
You think they're gonna lose it, or they're gonna lose it like the day after they break the
Yeah,
record?
it's going to be just like that. Remember, they wanted to erase AJ Lee off the record book because of the falling out between her husband, CM Punk, and herself later on.
So
Um,
what are they trying to erase right now?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if like Demolition is on bad terms with them or something. I haven't seen anything talking about it. None of my sources. Shout outs to No DQ, What Culture Wrestling, and Solid Monster.
But I mean, the we don't want to discredit the New Day for what they've done in the tag team division.
I
I
mean,
mean, obviously
their
they've been.
past 5 victories came from dirty deeds, and we're not talking about Dean Ambrose finisher.
Oh God, not dirty deeds.
These are dumb
But I
things.
mean, aren't they supposed to be heel faces?
We don't even know what they're supposed to be anymore.
We have no idea what they are
We have
anymore.
no clue. Like they're the mm, they're the huge question mark on the roster right now. Like, yeah, Kevin Owens is supposed to be the main heel of Raw, but people respect the heck out of him because of what he brought to the table. Because he is
Right.
definitely a workhorse wrestler.
No, absolutely.
People
Um,
like AJ Styles, even though he's supposed to be a heel, but that's because of the same reason that's Kevin Owens. And AJ Styles is, bar none, the best wrestler on the planet this year.
who?
AJ Styles is the best wrestler on the planet this year.
Well, guys, where's that tech guy? Let's
Oh,
just end the
Chris!
show
No,
early.
Chris,
Oh
don't
my
cut the
God,
show yet.
yes.
No, Chris.
Just I can't believe you just said that. He's not. He's not, sir. He is
we're
not.
gonna, we're
Give
gonna
it
have
to
to take more
anyone
time
else.
for you to explain to the people.
He
They don't
does the
understand.
styles
You're gonna
clash.
need, you're gonna need
He
more
does
than the
the
time we have
sacrifice
remaining to talk
haircut.
about it. Other than the style clash,
He
you can't
does
sit there
he
and
does
tell
simple
me
spots
that
that anyone can do.
he doesn't
He's
produce the best
no
kind of matches. You
horseman.
can't sit there and say
No,
that, man.
stop it. He shouldn't be heavyweight champion. Get him out of
Sorry.
here. I can't.
Pro
Oh,
Wrestling
don't. I'm
Insider,
sorry. Oh
Dave
no.
Meltzer, No
Oh, they don't
DQ,
know. They
Solid
just don't want.
Monster.
They don't want none. That's all. They
Oh,
just
he
don't.
went!
They just don't want none. That's really what it is.
Ain't nobody beating this right now.
Exactly. But
But in other news, though, the Raw's Women Championship changed hands once again. It's time to close the Attitude Era right now, where it's just
but you're,
becoming a hot potato.
but you're kind of over that though. Also,
I am because I'm ready to see something new. When they talked about Charlotte taking time off, who I love Charlotte, by the way.
I know you do.
I do. I
I
mean,
know you
she's
do.
a heck of an athlete. She is definitely the best women heel in both brands, including
Yeah,
NXT, actually.
yeah. I
Alexa
mean,
Bliss
I
is a
really think
very,
that they're
very close
just
second, but she definitely is still pretty green when it comes to the mic skills.
honestly, yeah, definitely. I really think that they're just saving the belt
For Bailey.
for either. It falls under either Bailey or Nia Jax.
But she's so green. She's so
I'm just.
green. In
It is really
fact,
terrible.
and Don Tony, Kevin Castle, shout outs to them as well.
Sure.
They mentioned how it's hard for people to take her seriously as a monster heel if she looks so attractive.
Well,
Like,
hey, what's she supposed to do about that?
like Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, but what is she supposed to do? She like stop wearing makeup or something?
I don't know. Something has to happen.
Oh my god,
I
that's
mean, she's
ridiculous.
a model. For for heaven's sakes.
I mean, but what you want her to do? I mean, most of them are models.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. But I mean, just show like a more aggressiveness, like a great example, and we talked about her before, even before Debates Among Friends was a thing. Victoria,
Mm-hmm.
great heel. She's able to show it in her facial reactions, the frustration, the rage, the conniving ability to do whatever it takes to win.
She's starting to become kind of annoying, though.
She's annoying now, but like when she started and during her time with WWE, you know, she put it out there and it showed and it worked with
Right.
her.
Gotcha.
Like that's what I mean. Like show that. Like to quote the great Greg Popovich, like show me a little nasty.
This is true. This is true. But I mean,
Like
obviously,
beating up Alicia Fox is not going to get you heel heat.
yeah, it's really not. Alicia Fox is the ultimate female heel. I mean, I'm sorry, female job. I meant female jobber.
Oh my gosh.
She really benefited from being a part of the Bellas, and unfortunately, they got hurt. They're doing their own
They
thing.
got married and knocked up.
Yeah,
You know,
babies. And,
shout out to Bree for becoming a mother. We're really happy for you. But
Absolutely.
becoming knocked up and
Right, exactly. Yes! Yes!
no, I'm an adult. I am an adult.
No, but I mean, it's going to be really, really good to see what they do. I just know I can't really take another two. I really want this next match between them to be it,
Absolutely.
you know. But then again, it's like, well, what happens to the women's division? I mean, you can't just leave Charlotte out. I would really like to see Charlotte get into it with Nia Jax, just to see how it would look in a potential.
And that's where I said Nia Jackson's ring ability is going to shine the worst. Like it's going to be worse, if not the same as Roman Reigns on the mic. And yes, I said that. And yes, I completely mean that.
Not Roman Reigns.
Anyone would.
Anyone would you?
I mean, she should have stayed at NXT, but I know we have about 5 minutes left. So let's talk about the last subject of WWE. We have the Royal Rumble coming up next month. And the rumor mill is talking about a former NXT champion making his debut.
Well, can we just start out the fact that I hate Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar being the first two? I hate it. Can I say that?
My only issue with that is if they become the last two, I don't
Right.
know, and you hear it in front of me right now. If they're the last two, I don't know if I'll actually sit down to watch WrestleMania this year. Because my will finally be snapped.
Yeah.
Like,
But who do you
I've watched Cinema Sins, and he literally went through 3 different sins talking about how Goldberg's walk to the entrance was longer than the match. Goldberg's entrance was longer than the match.
It was. And it was a great nostalgic feeling.
Whatever.
That's the only part I loved.
I'm
Like the match was just okay, but him standing in the fire was just like, oh man, he's doing it. It's been like 19,000 years,
I mean,
and there he is.
Goldberg standing in the fire was longer than the match.
I was okay with it.
I understand that, and I respect that. But for
Yeah.
me, I'm more for quality wrestling. I liked it when I was a kid. Now, not so much.
But we're really not getting.
Finger poke of doom? Yes, that was.
But we're really not getting the quality matches even back then that we used to get.
Oh no, absolutely not.
You understand? So it's like.
But we keep talking about. Well, I keep telling you about the same kind of matches that people are going. This is awesome for. Was awesome 3 to 10 years ago when those same people was doing it out in the indies. It's the same flipping matches. They're doing the same flipping things over and over again.
But had the WWE not gone PG, we would have had an opportunity to see these same matches originally on the WWE had they brought these guys in and not stuck with the old guys, but gave the new guys
Well,
an
not even just the
opportunity.
old guys, but the people who just can't wrestle at all, but just look a certain way.
And I mean,
That
it's
was really hurt them the most.
Well, when you think about it, I can understand why they gave people a chance, because when you look at somebody like, let's just say, Batista, he had the look it took him some time to really, really gel and understand how to wrestle, how to sell, how to actually pump the fans up, how to actually look like a winner. But it's going to actually take some of these guys a lot longer, these Roman Reigns. But I'll give one guy credit. Baron Corbin looked pretty good to me.
He did. He did. He showed a lot of progression, and I'm okay with that. I'm looking forward to see what happens later. But
And he took a nice spot, too. He took a nice little splash.
We're starting to cut off on time. Let's get to the last subject so we can get to the song. We both like this song, actually.
Yes, yes.
Samoa Joe has been rumored to make his debut either at the Royal Rumble or the Raw after the Royal Rumble. What are your thoughts on that, real quick?
We've seen him before. We know what he brings to the table. I would be more interested in seeing really anyone else, but I know that's your boy. I mean, obviously he's just going to be in there. He's definitely not winning anything.
No, he's not going to win. Like I said, the biggest surprise they can do, and that can definitely re-grab my attention and make me like fully invested in Raw and/or SmackDown, is if they have Shinsuke Nakamura debut with the NXT Championship and win the Royal Rumble. Not going to happen. But if they do that, that would be a huge monkey wrench. Just saying.
That would be crazy. Probably one of the greatest. I can't even say that. That Chris Jericho was so good. But if Shinsuke came over, won the Royal Rumble with one of those kicks, or he went strong style on somebody, I mean, it would be too crazy. But I don't think it's going to happen, though. As you said, I don't think that's going to happen. I think if we did anything, we're going to get to return of some other people that we really don't think about right now. You might, of course, you're going to see the Kurt Angle rumors. You're going to see the Shelton Benjamin rumors. And I mean, that's what we're going to get leading up to Royal Rumble.
No, they're not winning.
But we know they're going to show their faces, and the people are going to go wild. Just like when DDP came out. We all know he wasn't going to win anything, but we were happy to see him do a diamond cutter. At least I was.
I was happy to see a diamond cutter.
You know, not an RKO, but a diamond cutter.
We're running low on time, sir. We're going to have this time for the doctor's final thoughts.
Well, I'm really looking forward to, again, Evo. I'm really looking to see if one of the sleepers come out, you know, and really, I want to see somebody different win. You know, and who knows? Maybe Sonic Fox will motivate me to play Mortal Kombat.
Shout out to Sonic Fox. The doctor is calling you out already. He wants to do a first 100.
Hey.
He's saying, I'm no perfect legend, but I'm pretty good.
There you go. How about you, sir?
Nothing really. Just huge shout out to everyone out there who just been helping us out. You know, keeping the juices flowing and giving us ideas for the show. Really looking forward to our end of the year show and what we're trying to do there. So appreciate everyone. But tonight we're gonna leave you off with a track from Who's Mike B, song titled "All Be So Simple," featuring Julia Harmon, produced by Callium Connor and Classic. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. I am Professor John Gotti.
And I'm Mr. Wednesday Night.
And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.
Roll credits.
Pulling up to Beverly Drive, headed west where it gets better. Every block can just vibe. Ride the silent while they hitting the line. But it's straight to voicemail, I just hit that decline. I won't lie, see as of now my family barely get by. But I'm still cruising through Rodeo, looking at things I could buy. Don't know why, it's mainly just to keep this image aside. My selfish pride wants me to go with copper Lexus and drive. Rolexes and down, shining like a moment in time. I need a stage inside the states that got that Roman design. I need a balance like the season with some bad senoritas. The only current thoughts that are roaming my mind. That's why I always kept the platinum, nothing less, you know what's standard. That's why I treat the world like it's my canvas. I know that I've been lost up in my zone, far away from home, and I know that you can never understand. Cause you know me so well. Cause you know me so well. 26, I figured out I've been through plenty shit. Oftentimes I need to slow it down and reminisce. Moving too fast, I'm at 100 on the dash and lit. Light up the city up at night, get high and write my shit. It's therapeutic, you see this music is solely just for me and myself. Mental note to let it go, sometimes I need it myself. Seeking for clarity while giving you a piece of my mind. But all they ever needed was a piece of my time. When I didn't have the funds to print my CD, I'm yelling from me, reach up in your pockets just to feed me. I need to shout out Richard for my first 500 copies. Told me not to worry about the money, said you always got me. And I'll never forget it, forever indebted. I promised that I'd hit you back when I was on. But I've been busy on the road, I've been out there on my own. And I know you would never really understand. Cause you know me so well. Cause you know me so well. Cause you know